Get in the door. Good evening. Thank you very much for coming to the final for Acting 3 Shakespeare. So this is a production of Hamlet that we have been working on the last few weeks. Shut that door, would you? If you wouldn't mind, thank you. They did a number of monologues and soliloquies earlier in the semester, so the equivalent of our rehearsal time for this was basically 1 week of rehearsal. That's not by way of disclaimer, that's just what happened. But we wanted to present it to you as our final exam. Please note that there are 4 Hamlets and there are 2 kings. So if people look different, it's because they are different. So that's all. I'll leave it at that, and thank you very much, and enjoy the show.
Who's there?
Nay, answer me. Stand and unfold yourself.
Long live the king.
Bernardo?
He.
You come most carefully upon your hour.
It is now struck 12.
Stand up. Who is there?
Francis ground.
Lead me to the day.
Welcome, Horatio.
Why does this thing come again tonight?
Last night, ball, when yon same star that's westward from the pole had made its course to illumine that part of heaven where now it stands, Marcellus and
Peace.
myself.
Break thee off. Look where it comes again.
In the same figure, like the king that's dead.
Thou art a scholar. Speak to it, Horatio.
Looks it not like the king, mark it, Horatio?
Most like. It harrows me with fear and wonder.
It would be spoke to.
Question it, Horatio.
What art thou? That usurped this time of night, by heaven I charge thee! Speak!
It is offended.
See, it stops away.
Stay! Speak, speak, speak to me! If thou hast any sound or use of voice, speak to me! If there be any good thing to be done that may to thee to ease and race to me, speak to me!
Shall I strike at it?
Do it who will not stand.
Tis here.
'Tis here!
'Tis gone.
It was about to speak when the cock crew.
Let us impart what we have seen tonight unto young Hamlet. For upon my life, this spirit dumb to us will speak to him.
Though yet of Hamlet, our dear brother's death, the memory be green, and that it us be fitted to bear our hearts in grief, and all our kingdom to be contracted into one brow of woe. Yet so far hath discretion fought with nature that we with wisest sorrow think on him. But now, my cousin Hamlet and my son,
A little more than kin and less than kind.
how is it that the clouds still hang on you?
Not so, my lord. I am too much in the sun.
Good Hamlet, cast thy nighted colour off, and let thine eye look like a friend on Denmark. Do not forever with thy veiled lids seek for thy noble father in the dust. Thou know'st 'tis well, all that lives must die, passing through nature to eternity.
Aye, madam, it is common.
Indeed. Why seems it so particular to thee?
Seems? Nay, it is. I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, together with all moods, forms, shows of grief that can denote me truly. These indeed seem, for they are actions that a man might play. I have that within which passeth show. These but the trappings and the suits of woe.
'Tis sweet and commendable in your nature, Hamlet, to give these morning duties to your father, but you must know, your father lost a father. That father lost his. But to persevere in obstinate condolement is a course of impious stubbornness. 'Tis unmanly grief. For your intent in going back to school in Wittenberg is most retrograde to our desire, and we beseech you, bend you, to remain here in the cheer and comfort of our eye.
Let not thy mother lose her prayers, Hamlet. I pray thee stay with us, go not to Wittenberg.
I shall in all my best obey you, madam.
Why, 'tis a loving and fair reply.
Oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, thaw, and resolve itself into a dew. Or that the everlasting had not fixed his canon against self-slaughter. Oh God, how weary, stale, flat, and unprofitable seems to me all the uses of this world. Fie on it. Oh, fie, 'tis an unweeded garden that grows to seed. Things rank and gross in nature, possesses it nearly. That it should come to this, but 2 months dead. Not so much, not two. So excellent a king that was to this Hyperion to a satyr, so loving to my mother that he might not beteem the whims of heaven, visit her face too roughly. Heaven and earth, must I remember? Why she would hang on him as if increase of appetite had grown by what it fed on. And yet, within a month, let me not think on it, frailty thy name is woman. Within a month, ere yet the shoes were old of which she followed my poor father's body, like Niobe, all tears. Why she, even she, oh God, a beast that wants discourse of reason would have mourned longer. Married with my uncle, my father's brother, but no more like my uncle than I to Hercules. Within a month, ere yet the salt of most unrighteous tears had left the flushing in her galled eyes, she married, almost wicked sweet, to post with such dexterity to incestuous sheets. It is not, nor it cannot come to good. But break my heart, for I must hold my tongue.
Hail to your lordship!
I am glad to see you, Horatio. Would you like to give myself?
The same, my good lord, and your poor servant ever.
I am very glad to see you, but what is your affair in Elsinore?
I come to see your father's funeral.
I prithee, do not mock me, fellow student. I think it was to see my mother's wedding.
Indeed, my lord, it followed hard upon.
Thrift, Horatio. The funeral baked meats did coldly furnish forth the marriage tables. My father. Methinks I see my father.
Where, my lord?
In my mind's eye, Horatio.
My lord, methinks I saw him yesternight.
Saw who?
My lord, the king, your father.
The king, my father.
2 nights had these gentlemen, Marcellus and Bernardo, on their watch in the dead vast and middle of night, been thus encountered. A figure like your father.
But where was this?
My lord, upon the platform where we watched.
Did you not speak to it?
My lord, I did. But answer made it none. But even then the morning cock crew loud, and it shrank in haste away, and hid it from our sight.
'Tis very strange.
As I do live, my honored lord, 'tis true. And we did think it written down in our duty to let you know of it.
Indeed. Indeed, sirs, but this troubles me. Hold you the watch tonight?
We do, my lord.
What? Looked he frowningly?
A countenance more in sorrow than in anger.
And fixed his eyes upon you?
Most constantly.
I would I had been there.
It would have much amazed you.
I will watch tonight. Perchance 'twill walk again.
I warrant it will.
If it assume my noble father's person, I'll speak to it, though hell itself should gape and bid me hold my peace. So fare you well. Upon the platform twixt 11 and 12, I'll visit you.
Our duty to your honor.
Your love is mine to you. Farewell.
My necessaries are embarked. Farewell. And sister, as the winds give benefit and Convoy is assistant, do not sleep, but let me hear from you.
Do you doubt that?
I stay too long, but here my father comes.
Let's get your Laertes aboard for shame. The wind sits in the shoulder of your sail, and yet you're stayed for. There, my blessing with thee. And these few precepts in thine. Look thou character. Give thy thoughts no tongue, nor any unproportioned thought his act. Be thy familiar, but by no means vulgar. Lend every man thine ear, but few thy voice. Take every man's censure, but reserve thy judgment. And this, above all, to thine own self be true. And it must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any one man. Farewell, my blessing season this in thee.
Most humbly do I take my leave, my lord.
The time invites you. Go, your servants tend.
Farewell, sister, and remember well what I have said to you.
'Tis in my memory and locked, and you yourself shall keep the key of it.
Farewell.
What is Ophelia he hath said to you?
So please you, something
touching the Lord Hamlet. He hath, my lord, of late made many tenders of his affection to me.
Affections? Pooh! You speak like a Greek girl, unsifted in such perilous circumstance. Tell me, do you believe his tenders, as you call them?
I do not know, my lord, what I should think.
Mary, I'll teach you. Tender yourself more dearly. Or, not to crack the wind of the poor phrase, wronging it thus, you'll tender me a fool.
My lord, he hath importuned me with love in honorable fashion,
By fashion you may call it. Go to, go to.
and hath given countenance to his speech, my lord, with almost all the holy vows of heaven. I shall obey, my lord.
The air bites shrewdly. It's very cold.
It is a nipping and eager air.
What hour now?
I think it lacks 12.
No, it is struck.
Indeed? I heard it not. Then draws near the season wherein the spirit held its wont to walk. Look, my lord, it comes!
Angels and ministers of grace defend us. I'll call thee Hamlet. King? Father? Royal Dane? Oh, answer me!
It beckons you to go away with it, as if it's some impartment it did desire to you alone.
Listen with what courteous action it waves you to a more removed ground. Do not go with it.
No, by no
They
means.
will not speak, then will I follow it.
Do not, my lord.
Why? What should be the fear? It waves me forth again. I'll follow it.
My lord, you shall not go.
Hold off your hands.
Be ruled, you shall not go!
Unhand me, gentlemen! By heaven, I'll make a ghost of him that lets me. I say away! Go on. I'll follow thee.
He waxes desperate with imagination.
Let's follow. It's not fit thus to obey him. Something is rotten in the state of Denmark.
Whither wilt thou lead me? Speak. I will go no further.
Mark me.
I will. Alas, poor ghost.
Pity me not, but lend thy serious hearing to what I shall unfold.
Speak. I am bound to hear.
So art thou to revenge when thou shalt hear.
What?
I am thy father's spirit, doomed for a certain term to walk the night till the foul crimes done in my days of nature are burnt and purged away. If thou didst ever thy dear father love, revenge his foul and most unnatural murder.
Murder.
Murder most foul, as in the best it is, but the most foul, strange, and unnatural. The serpent that did sting thy dear father's life now wears his crown.
Oh, my prophetic soul. Mine uncle.
Fare thee well at once. Adieu, adieu. Hamlet, remember me.
I, thou poor ghost, while memory holds a seat in this distracted globe. Remember thee. Oh, most pernicious woman! Oh, villain, villain, smiling, damned villain! So, uncle, there you are. Now to my word, it is adieu, adieu. Remember me. I have sworn.
My lord! My lord!
Lord Hamlet!
What news, my lord?
Oh, wonderful.
Good, my lord, tell it.
No, you'll reveal it.
Not I, my lord, by heaven.
Nor I, my lord. There's never villain dwelling in all Denmark. He's an errant knave.
There needs no ghost, my lord, come from the grave to tell us this.
Give me one poor request.
What is, my lord, we will?
Never make known what you have seen tonight.
My lord, we will not.
Nay, but swear it.
In faith, my lord, not I.
Nor I, my lord. In vain.
Swear! Oh, day and night. But this is wondrous strange.
Therefore, as a stranger, give welcome. There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, that are dreamt of in your philosophy.
Swear!
Rest! Rest, perturbed spirit! The time is out of joint. O most cursed spite, that ever I was born to set it right.
How now, Ophelia, what is the matter?
Alas, my lord, I've been so affrighted.
With what in the name of God?
My lord, as I was sewing in my chamber, Lord Hamlet, with his doublet all unbraced, no hat upon his head, his stockings fouled, pale as his shirt and his knees knocking each other, and with a look so piteous and perpid as if he had been loosed out of hell to speak of horrors, he comes before me.
Mad for thy love?
My lord, I do not know, but truly I do fear it.
What said he?
He took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then he took me by the wrist and held me hard. Then goes he to the length of all his arm, and with his other hand thus o'er his shoulder turned, he falls to such perusal of my face as he would draw it. Long stayed he so. At last, he raised a sigh so piteous and profound as it did seem to shatter all his bulk and end his being. That done, he lets me go. Then, with his other hand over his shoulder turned, he seemed to find his way without his eyes. For out of doors he went without their help, and to the last bended their light onto me.
Come with me. I will go to seek the king. This is the very ecstasy of love whose violent property fordoes itself. Have you given him any hard words of late?
No, my lord, but as you did command, I did repel his letters and deny his access to me.
That hath made him mad. Come with me. We go to the king.
Welcome, dear Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. Moreover, that we much did long to see you, the need we have to use you did provoke our hasty sending. Something have you heard of Hamlet's transformation, so I call it, since nor the exterior nor the inward man resembles that it was.
Good gentlemen, he hath much talked of you, and sure I am two men that are not living to whom he more hears.
Both your majesties might, by the sovereign power you have of us, put your dread pleasures more into command than to entreaty.
We both obey, and here give up ourselves in the full bent to lay our service freely at your feet to be commanded.
Thanks, Rosencrantz and gentle Guildenstern.
Thanks, Guildenstern and gentle Rosencrantz. Go, some of you, and bring these gentlemen where Hamlet is.
Heavens make our presence and our practices pleasant and helpful to him.
Thou still hast been the father of good news.
Have I, my lord? Assure you, my good liege, I hold my duty as I hold my soul, both to my God and my gracious king. And I do think that I have found the very cause of Hamlet's lunacy.
Oh, speak of that I do long to hear.
My liege and madam, to expostulate what majesty should be, what duty is. Why, day is day, and night is night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste night's day and time. Therefore, since brevity is the soul of wit, and tediousness the limbs in outward flourishes, I will be brief. Your noble son is mad. Mad call I it, for what is to define true madness, but be nothing else but mad, but let that
More matter with less art.
Madam, I swear I use no art at all. That he is mad, 'tis true. 'Tis true. 'Tis pity, and pity 'tis true, a foolish figure. But farewell, for I will use no art. I have a daughter, who in her obedience and duty mark hath given me this. Now gather and surmise. To the most celestial and my soul's idol, the most beautified Ophelia. That's an ill phrase, a vile phrase. Beautified is a vile phrase, but you shall hear it thus. In her excellent white bosom, these...
This from Hamlet to her.
Good madam, stay a while. When I saw this hot love on the wing, and my young mistress thus I did bespeak, Lord Hamlet is a prince out of thy sphere. This must not be. Which done, I precepts gave her. Watch yourself from his resort. Admit no messengers, receive no tokens. Which done, she took the fruits of my advice. He repulsed to a short tale, to make fell into sadness, then into fast, into the madness wherein now he raves, and all we wail.
Do you think 'tis this?
It may be. Very likely.
Should circumstances lead me, I will find where truth is hid, though it were indeed hid within the center.
How may we try it further?
Be you and I behind an heiress. Mark the encounter. If he love her not, and he fall not from without his reason, let me be no assistant to the state.
We will try it.
But look where sadly the poor wretch comes reading.
Away, I beseech you both away. I will board him presently. How does good Lord Hamlet?
Well, God mercy.
Do you know me, my lord?
Excellent well. You're a fishmonger.
Not I, my lord.
Then I would you were so honest a man. Have you a daughter?
I have, my lord.
Let her not walk in the sun. Conception is a blessing, but not as your daughter may conceive. Friend, look to it.
What is it you read, my lord?
Words, words, words.
What's the matter, my lord?
Between who?
I mean the matter that you read, my lord.
Slander, sir. For the satirical slave says here that old men have gray beards, that their faces are wrinkled, and that they have a plentiful lack of wit. Yet I hold it not honesty to have it thus set down. For you yourself, sir, should be as old as I am, if, like a crab, you could go backward.
Will this be madness? There is method in it. Will you walk out of the air, my lord?
Into my grave.
Indeed, that is out of the air. My most honorable lord, I take my leave of you.
You cannot, sir, take from me anything that I will more willingly part with all, except my life, except my life, except my life.
Fare you well, my lord. You go to seek the Lord Hamlet. There he is.
My honored lord.
My most dear lord.
My excellent good friends, how dost thou gild and stern? Ah, Rosencrantz, my good lads, how did ye both?
As the indifferent children of the earth.
Happy in that we are not over happy.
What news?
None, my lord, but that the world's grown honest.
Then is doomsday near. But your news is not true. What have you, good friends, deserved at the hands of fortune that she sends you to prison hither?
Prison, my lord.
Denmark's a prison.
Then is the world one.
A goodly one, in which there are many confines, wards, and dungeons, Denmark being one of the worst.
We think not so, my lord.
Why then 'tis none to you. But there is nothing either good or bad, but thinking makes it so. To me, it is a prison.
Why then your ambition makes it one. 'Tis too narrow for your mind.
What make you at Elsinore?
To visit you, my lord. No other occasion.
Beggar that I am even poor in thanks, but I thank you, dear friends. Were you not sent for? Is it your own inclining? Is it a free visitation? Come, deal justly with me.
What should we say, my lord?
Write anything but to the purpose. I know the good king and queen have sent for you.
To what end, my lord?
That you must teach me. Be even and direct with me, whether you were sent for or no. If you love me, hold not off.
My lord, we were sent for. Where are the players?
Gentlemen, you are welcome to Elsinore. Your hands, come. The appurtenance of welcome is fashion and ceremony. You are welcome, but my uncle, father, and aunt mother are deceived.
In what, my dear lord?
I am but mad, north-northwest, but when the wind is southerly, I know a hawk from a handsaw.
Well be with you, gentlemen.
Mark you, good mister, and you too. That great baby you see there is not yet out of his swaddling claws.
Happily, he's second time come to that, for they say an old man is twice a child.
I will prophesy he comes to tell me of the players. Mark it.
The actors are come hither, my lord.
Buzz, buzz.
Upon my honor.
Then came each actor on his ass.
The best actors in the world, either for tragedy, comedy, history, pastoral, pastoral comical, historical pastoral, tragical historical, tragical comical historical pastoral, scene indivisible, or poem unlimited.
Welcome, masters. Welcome, all. Come, give us a taste of your quality. Come, a passionate speech.
What speech, my lord?
I heard thee speak me a speech once, but it was never acted, or if it was, not above once. For the play, I remember, pleased not the millions. It was caviar in general, but it was an excellent play.
I will take them in my hold.
Follow me, friends. We'll hear a play tomorrow. Dost thou hear me, old friend? Can you play the murder of Gonzago?
Aye, my lord.
We'll have tomorrow night. You could, for need, study a speech of some dozen or 16 lines, which I would set down and insert it, could you not?
Aye, my lord.
Very well. Follow that lord, and look you mock him not. My good friends, I leave you till night. You are welcome to Elsinore.
Good, my lord.
Now I am alone. Oh, what a rogue and peasant slave am I. Is it not monstrous that this player here, but in a fiction, in a dream of passion, could force his soul so to his own conceit, that from her working all his visage waned? Tears in his eyes, distraction in his aspect, a broken voice, and his whole function suiting forms to his conceit, and all for nothing. For Hecuba. What's Hecuba to him, or he to Hecuba, that he should weep for her? Am I a coward? Who calls me villain, breaks my pate across, plucks off my beard and blows it in my face, tweaks me by the nose, gives me the lie in the throat as deep as to the lung? Who does me this? Bloody, body villain, remorseless, treacherous, lecherous, kindless villain, oh vengeance! Why, what an ass am I? This is most brave, that I, the son of a dear father murdered, prompted to my revenge by heaven and hell, must like a whore unpack my heart with words. I have heard that guilty creatures sitting at a play have, by the very cunning of the scene, been struck so to the soul that presently they have proclaimed their malfactions. For murder, though it have no tongue, will speak with most miraculous organ. I'll have these players play something like the murder of my father before mine uncle. I'll observe his looks, tempt him to the quick. If he but blench, I know my course. I'll have grounds more relative than this. The play's the thing wherein I'll catch the conscience of the king.
He does confess he feels himself distracted, but by what cause he will by no means speak.
Did he receive you well?
Just like a gentleman, but with much forcing of his disposition.
Good gentlemen, give him a further edge, and drive his purpose on till he desires.
You shall, my lord.
To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles and by opposing end them. To die, to sleep, no more, and by a sleep to say the end, the heartache, and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. To die, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in this sleep of death, what dreams may come? When we have shuffled off this mortal coil, would these fardels bear? To grunt and sweat under a weary life, but that the dread of something after death, the undiscovered country from whose bourne no traveler returns, puzzles the will, and makes us rather bear those ills we have than fly to others we know not of. Thus conscience does make cowards of us all, and thus the native hue of resolution is sicklied over with a pale cast of thought, and enterprise of great pith and moment. With this regard, their currents turn awry, and lose the name of action.
My lord, I have remembrances of yours that I have long longed to redeliver. I pray you now receive them.
No, not I never gave one.
My honored lord, you know very well you did. And with them, words of such sweet breath composed as made the things more rich.
Are you honest?
My lord,
Are you fair?
what means your lordship?
That if you be honest and fair, your honesty should admit no discourse to your beauty.
Could beauty, my lord, have better commerce than with honesty?
Aye, truly. For the power of your beauty shall sooner transform honesty from what it is to a bawd, than your honesty can translate beauty into his likeness. I did love you once.
Indeed, my lord, you made me believe so.
You should not have believed me. I loved you not.
I was the more deceived.
Get thee to a nunnery. We are errant knaves all. Believe none of us. Go thy ways to a nunnery go, and quickly too. Farewell.
Oh, what a noble mind is here o'erthrown. The courtiers, scholars, soldiers, eye, tongue, sword. The expectancy and rose of the fair state. The glass of fashion and the mold of form. The observed of all observers quite down. And I, ladies most dejected wretch that sucked the honey from his music vows, now see that most noble and sovereign reason, like sweet bells jangled, out of tune and harsh, that unmatched form and feature of blown youth, blasted with ecstasy. Oh, woe is me, to have seen what I've seen, see what I see.
Speak the speech, I pray you, as I have pronounced it to you, trippingly on the tongue. And if you mouth the words as many of your players do, as lief the town crier spoke my lines. Nor do not saw the air so much with your hand thus, but use all gently. For the very torrent, tempest, and as I may say, whirlwind of passion, you must acquire and beget a temperance that may give it smoothness. Oh, it offends me to the soul to hear a robustious, periwig-pated fellow tear a passion to tatters, to very rags, to split the ears of the groundlings who, for the most part, are capable of nothing more than inexplicable dumb shows and noise. I should have a fellow whipped for ordering termagant. It out Herod's Herod, pray you avoid it.
I warrant your honor.
Go make you ready. How now, my lord? Shall the king hear this piece of work?
And the queen too, and that presently.
Bid the players make haste. Good Horatio,
Your sweet lord, at your service.
thou art e'en just a man as ere my conversation cope withal.
Oh, my lord.
There's a play tonight. Before the king. One scene of it comes amid circumstance which I have told thee of my father's death.
I prithee, when thou seest that act afoot, even with the very comment of thy soul, observe mine uncle. If his occulted guilt do not itself unkennel in one speech, it is a damned ghost that we have seen. For I mine eyes will rivet to his face, and after we will both our judgments join in censure of his sin. Their coming to the plan must be at official place.
Oh, my lord.
How fares our cousin Hamlet?
Excellent in faith. Of the chameleon's dish, I eat the air, promise crammed. You cannot feed Captain so.
I have nothing with this answer, Hamlet. These words are not mine.
No, nor mine now.
Come hither, my dear Hamlet, sit by me.
No, good mother, there's metal more attractive. Lady.
No, my lord. No, my lord.
I mean my head upon your lap.
Aye, my lord.
Did you think I meant country matters?
I think nothing, my lord.
That's a fair thought to lie between men's legs.
That is, no, nothing.
Ordinary, my lord. Who I?
Aye, my lord.
What do you call the play?
The Mousetrap. It is a play in the image of a murder done in Vienna. Gonzago is the Duke's name. His wife, Baptiste. This is one Lucianus, nephew to the king. He poisons him in the garden of his estate. The play is extinct and written very choice Italian. The murderer gets to love Gonzago's wife. The king rises. How fares my lord?
Give over the play!
Sire?
Give me some light. Away!
Lights!
Lights! Lights! Lights! Good Horatio, didst perceive
Very well.
upon the talk of the poisoning?
I did very well note him.
Good, my lord. Vouchsafe me a word with you.
Sir, hold this straight.
The queen, your mother, in most great affliction of spirit, hath sent me to you.
She desires to speak with you in her closet ere you go to bed. We shall obey, were she 10 times our mother. Have you any further trade with us?
My lord, you once did love me.
As I do still, these will come by and by. By and by is easily said. Leave me, friends. 'Tis now the very witching time of night, when churchyards yawn and hell itself breathes out contagion to this world. Now could I drink hot blood and do such bitter business as the day would quake to look on. Soft, now to my mother. Oh, heart, lose not thy nature. Let not ever the soul of Nero enter this firm bosom. Let me be cruel, not unnatural. I shall speak daggers to her, but use none. My tongue and soul in this be hypocrites. How in my words somever she be shent, to give seals never my soul consent.
He's going to his mother's closet. Behind an arras, I'll convey myself and hear the process. I'll call upon you ere you go to bed and tell you what I know.
Thanks, dear my lord. My offense is rank. It smells to heaven. It hath the primal eldest curse pond. A brother's murder. Pray can I not, though inclination be as sharp as will. My stronger guilt defeats my strong intent. What if this cursed hand were thicker than itself with brother's blood? Is there not rain enough in the sweet heavens to wash it white as snow? My fault is past. But oh, what form of prayer may serve my turn? Forgive me my foul murder! That cannot be, since I am still possessed of those effects for which I did the murder. My crown, mine own ambition, and my queen. May one be pardoned and retain the offense? Oh, wretched state. Oh, bosom black as death! O limed soul that struggling to be free art more engaged. Help, angels! Make essay! Bow stubborn knees! And heart with strings of steel be soft as sinews of newborn babe. All may be well.
Now might I do a pact? Now is pray. So I'll do it. And so he goes to heaven. And am I then revenged? That would be scanned. A villain kills my father, and for that, I, his sole son, shall this same villain send to heaven? And am I then revenged? To take him in the purging of his soul when he is fit and seasoned for his passage? No. When he is drunk asleep, or in his rage, or in the incestuous pleasure of his bed, at gaming, swearing, or about some act that has no relish of salvation in it. Then trip him, that his heels may kick at heaven, and that his soul be as damned and black as hell whereto it goes.
My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. Words without thoughts never to heaven go.
He is coming straight. Will you lay home to him? Oh, silence me in here. I pray of you, be round with him.
Mother! Draw! I hear him coming. Mother! Mother! Now, Mother, what's the matter?
Hamlet, thou hast thy father much offended.
Mother, you have my father much offended.
Come, you answer with an idle tongue.
Go, you question with a wicked tongue.
What? How now, Hamlet?
What's the matter now?
Have you forgotten me?
No, by the rude not so, you are the queen, your husband's brother's wife, and would it were not so, you are my mother.
Then I'll set those teeth that you speak.
Come, sit you down. You shall not budge till I set you a glass where you may see the inmost part of you.
What wilt thou do? Thou wilt not murder me. Help! Help! Help!
What? Oh, help! Help!
Oh, rat!
Help!
Knock it dead!
What hast thou done?
Nay, I know not, said the king.
Oh, what a rash and bloody deed is this?
A bloody deed. Almost as bad when mothers kill a king and marry with his brothers.
Kill a king?
Aye, 'twas my word, thou wretched, rash, intruding fool. Farewell. I took thee for thy better.
What have I done? That thou darest wag thy tongue nor so rude against me?
Such an act that blurs the grace and blush of modesty.
Oh, me. What act that roars so loud and thunders in the index?
Look here upon this picture, and on this, the counterfeit presentment of two brothers. This was your husband. Have you eyes? Could you on this fair mountain leave to feed and batten on this moor? You cannot call it love, for at your age the heyday and the blood is tame.
Oh, Hamlet, speak no more. Thou hast cleft my heart in twain.
Oh, throw away the worser part of it and live the purer with the other half. Good night. But go not to mine uncle's bed. Assume a virtue if you have it not.
Shall I do?
Not this, by no means do I bid you do. Let the bloat king tempt you again to bed, and let him for a pair of reechy kisses make you ravel all this matter out, that I essentially am not in madness, but mad in craft.
Be thou assured, if words be made of breath, and breath of life, I have no life left to breathe, what thou hast said to me.
I must to England, mother, you know this.
Alas, I had forgotten. To so good long.
Good night, mother. Oh no.
Friends both, go join you in some further aid. Hamlet in madness hath Polonius slain, and from his mother's closet hath he slain him. Go, seek him out. Speak fair, and bring the body into the chapel, I pray you. Haste in this. Come, Gertrude. We'll call up our wisest friends and tell them what we mean to do. Oh, come away. My soul is full of discord and dismay.
Hamlet? Lord Hamlet! Lord Hamlet! What noise? Who calls on Hamlet? Oh, here they come.
What have you done, my lord, with the dead body?
Compounded it with dust, whereto 'tis king.
Tell us where 'tis, that we may take it thence and bear it to the chapel.
Do not believe it.
Believe what?
That I can keep your counsel and not mine own. Besides, to be demanded of a sponge, what replication should be made by the son of a king?
Take you me for a sponge, my lord?
Aye, sir, that soaks up the king's countenance, his authority, his rewards. But such officers do the king best service in the end. He keeps them like an ape in the corner of his jaw, first mouthed to be last swallowed. When he needs what you have gleaned, it is but squeezing you. And sponge, you shall be dry again.
I understand you not, my lord.
I am glad that a knavish speech sleeps in a foolish ear.
My lord, tell us where the body is and go with us to the king.
Oh, the king is with the body, but the body is not with the king. The king is a thing.
A thing, my lord.
Of nothing. Bring me to him. Hide fox and all after.
Now, Hamlet, where is Polonius?
At supper.
At supper. Where?
Not where he eats, but where he is eaten. A certain convocation of politic worms are in that end. Yet worms are only emperor for diet. We fat all creatures else to fat us, and we fat ourselves for maggots. Your fat king and your lean beggar are but variable service. 2 dishes but to 1 table. That's the end.
Hamlet, this deed for thine especial safety, which we do tender, as we dearly grieve, for that which thou hast done. Therefore prepare thyself, or therefore we must send thee hence with fiery quickness. Therefore prepare thyself for England.
For England.
Aye, Hamlet.
Good.
So is it if thou knewest our purposes?
See a cherub that sees them. But come, for England. Farewell, dear mother.
Thy loving father, Hamlet.
My mother. Father and mother are man and wife. Man and wife is one flesh. And so, my mother. Come, for England.
Where is the beauteous majesty of Denmark? How now, Ophelia? Will he not come again? Will he not come again? How should I your true love know from another? At his head a grass-green turf, at his heels a stone. Alas, sweet lady, what imports this song?
How do you, pretty lady?
Well, God dealt you. Lord, we know what we are, but know not what we may be. God be at your table.
How long hath she been thus?
I hope all will be well. We must be patient, but I cannot choose but weep to think they would lay him in the cold ground. My brother shall know it, and so I thank you for your good counsel. Oh, come, my coach. Good night, ladies. Good night, sweet ladies. Good night. Good night.
Oh, this is the poison of deep grief. It springs all from her father's death. Poor Ophelia, divided from herself and her fair judgment.
Okay, what else is this?
Attend!
That fine kid, give me my father.
Calmly, good narratives.
Drapapa that's calm proclaims me bastard, cries cuckold to my father, even here between the chaste, unsmirched brow of my true mother. Where is my father?
Dead.
But not by him.
Let him demand his fill.
How came he dead? I'll not be juggled with. To hell allegiance. Vows to the blackest devil. To conscience and grace to the profoundest pit. I dare damnation. To this point I stand that both the worlds I give to negligence. Let come what comes. Only I'll be revenged most thoroughly for my father.
Good Laertes, if you desire to know the certainty of your dear father's death, is writ in your revenge that sweepstake, you are both to draw both friend and foe, winner and loser.
None but his enemies.
Will you know them then?
And to his good friends, thus wide I'll open my arms, and like the kind, life-raining pelican, repass them with my blood.
Why? Now you speak like a good child and a true gentleman. That I am guiltless for your dear father's death, and the most sensibly in grief for it. It shall as level pierce to your judgment as day does to your eye.
Oh, heat dry up my brains. Tears 7 times, salt burn out the sense and virtue of mine eye. Dear maid, kind sister, sweet Ophelia. Oh heavens, is it possible that a young maid's wit should be as mortal as an old man's life?
Fare you well, my dove.
Hadst thou thy wits and didst persuade revenge, you cannot move thus.
You must sing. Down and down and down, and you call him down and down.
This nothing's more than matter.
There's rosemary. That's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember. And there's pansies. That's for thoughts.
Documented madness. Thoughts and remembrance fitted.
There's fennel for you. And columbine. There's room for you, and here's some for me. Oh, we may call it Irma Grace of Sundays. Oh, you must wear your rue with a difference. Here's a daisy. I would give you violets, but they withered all when my father died. They say he made a good end. Sweet Robin Bonnie's all my joy.
Thought and affliction, passion, hell itself, she turns the favor into prettiness.
Will he not come again? Will he not come again? Oh no, he is dead. He will not come again. And of all Christian souls, God be with you.
Do you see this? Oh God?
Laertes, I must commune with your grief, or you deny me right. Go but apart. Make choice of whom your wisest friends you will, and they shall hear and judge twixt you and me.
Let this be so. His means of death, his obscure burial, cry to be heard, tore from heaven to earth, that I must call it in question.
So you shall. I will work him to exploit, now ripen my device, under the which he shall not choose but fall. And for his death no wind shall breathe, but even his mother shall in charge the practice and call it accident.
My lord, I will be ruled. The rather if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
Revenge should have no bounds. But, good Laertes, will you do this? Keep close within your chamber. Hamlet returned, shall know you are come home. We'll put those on, shall praise your excellence. We'll put a double varnish on the fame, and wager on your heads. He, being remiss, most generous and free from all contriving, will not peruse the foils, and so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword, unbaited, and in a passive practice requite him for your father.
I will do it. And for that purpose, I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountebank so mortal that, but dip a knife in it, where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare, collected from all symbols that have virtue under the moon, could save the thing from death. This is but scratch with fall. I'll touch my point with this contagion that, if I gall him slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this. Weigh what convenience both of time and means may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift look through our bad performance, will make a solemn wager on your cunnings. I had. When in your motion you are hot and dry, and that he calls for drink, I'll have prepared for him a chalice for the nuts, whereon but sipping, if he by chance escape your venom stuck, our purpose may hold there. How now, sweet queen?
One woe doth tread upon another's heel. So fast they follow. Your sisters drowned, Laertes.
Drowned? Oh, where?
There, on the pendant boughs, her coronet weeds clamoring to hang, an envious sliver broke, when down her trophies, and herself fell in the weeping brook. Her clothes spread wide, and mermaid like a while they bore her up, which time she chanted catches of old tunes as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature, native and endued unto that element. But long it could not be, till that her garments, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, then she is drowned.
Drowned. Drowned.
Too much water. Nature, her custom holds. Let shame say what it will. When these are gone, the women will be out. Adieu, my lord. I have a speech of fire that fame would blaze, but that this folly doubts it.
Let's follow Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm this rage, now I fear this will give it start again. Therefore, let's follow.
In youth when I love to love, trapped all the time for my behold. Methought there was nothing meet.
Has this fellow no feeling of his business that he sings at grave making?
Custom hath made it in him a property of easiness.
'Tis even so. The hand of little employment hath the daintier since.
A pickaxe and a spade, for a shroud of sheet, or for a pit of clay to be made for such a guest as meet.
What man dost thou dig it for?
For no man, sir.
What woman then?
For not neither.
Who's to be buried in it?
One that was a woman, sir, but rest her soul, she's dead.
Whose was it?
A whoreson. Mad fellows it was. Whose do you think it was?
Nay, I know not.
A pestilence on him for a mad rogue. A portaflagon of Rhenish on my head once. This same skull, sir, was Yorick's skull, the king's jester.
This?
Eating that.
Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio, fellow of infinite jest, most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times. And now how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rises at it. Here hung the lips I kissed, I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. Not one now to mock your own grinning. Quite chapfallen. Now get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick. To this favor she must come. Make her laugh at this. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing.
What's that, my lord?
Dost thou think Alexander looked of this fashion in the earth?
Eat so?
And smelt so.
Eat so, my lord.
But soft, here comes the king. Queen. Courtiers, who Who is that they follow? With such maiden rites. Now this doth betoken the corpse they followed in with desperate hand for doing unworthy. Was there some mistake? Count me a while and mark.
Lay her in the earth, and from her fair and unpolluted flesh may violence spring. I tell thee, churlish priest, a ministering angel shall my sister be when thou liest howling.
What? The fair Ophelia?
Leads to the sea. Farewell. I hope thou shouldst have been my Hamlet's wife. Thought thy bride meant to have decked, sweet maid, and not have strewed thy grave.
Oh, treble woe. Fall 10 times treble on that cursed head, whose most ingenious sense thy wicked deed deprived thee of. Hold off the earth a while, till I have caught her once more in mine arms. Now, pall your dust upon the quick and dead, till of this flat a mountain you have made.
Who is he whose grief bears such an emphasis? Whose phrase of sorrow conjures the wandering stars and makes them stand like wonder-wounded hearers? This is I, Hamlet, the Dane!
The devil take thy soul!
Oh, then pray it's not well. I prithee, take thy fingers from my throat. Though I am not splenitive and rash, yet have I in me something dangerous, which let thy wiseness fear away thy hand.
Put them asunder!
Hamlet!
Gentlemen!
I will be quiet.
Well, I will fight with him upon this theme until my eyelids will no longer wag.
My son, what theme?
I loved Ophelia. 40,000 brothers could not, with all their quantity of love, make up my son. What wilt thou do for her?
Oh, he is mad, Laertes.
For love of God, forbear him.
Dost thou come here to whine? To outface me with leaping in her grave? Be buried quick with her, and so will I. I'll rant as well as thou.
'Tis mere madness.
Hear you, sir. What is the reason you use me thus? I loved you ever. But it is no matter. Let Hercules himself do what he may. The cat will mew, and dog will have his day.
I pray thee, good Horatio, wait upon him. Strengthen your patience in her last night's speech will put the matter to the present push. Good Gertrude, set some watch over your son. This grave shall have a living monument. An hour of quiet shortly shall we see, till then in patience our proceedings be.
Why, what a king is this?
He that hath killed my king and whored my mother, popped in between the election and my hopes. To let this canker of our nature come in further evil.
You must be shortly known to him from England. What is the issue of the business here?
It will be short. The interim is mine. But I'm very sorry, good Horatio. To Laertes I forgot myself. For by the image of my cause I see the portraiture of his. I'll court his favors, but sure, the bravery of his grief did put me into a towering passion.
Peace. Who comes here?
Your lordship is right welcome back to Denmark.
I humbly thank you, sir.
The snow is what a flag.
No, my lord.
My lord, His Majesty bade me signify to you that he has laid a great wager on your head.
What's his weapon?
Rapier and dagger.
That's 2 of his weapons. Well,
The king, sir, hath laid that in a dozen passes between you and him, he shall not exceed you 3 hits.
let the foils be brought. The gentleman willing and the king hold his purpose.
I commend my duty to your lordship.
Yours.
You will lose this wager, my lord.
I do not think so. Since he went into France, I have been in continual practice. I shall win at the odds. If it be not now, 'tis not to come. Be not now, yet it will come. The readiness is all.
Come, Hamlet, come, and take this hand from me.
Give me your pardon, sir. I've done you wrong. But pardon it as you are a gentleman, for this presence knows, and you must needs have heard how I am punished with sore distraction what I have done.
I am satisfied in nature, whose motive in this case should stir me most to my revenge. But in my terms of honor, I stand aloof, and will know reconcilement till by some elder masters of known honor I have a voice and precedent of peace to keep my name on board. But till that time I do receive your offered love like love, and will not regret it.
I embrace it freely, and will this brother's wager frankly play. Give us the foils. Come on.
Come, one for me.
This likes me well.
I'm my lord.
Send me the stoops of wine upon that table. If Hamlet should give the first or second hit, or quit in answer of the third exchange, let all the battlements their ordnance fire. Come, begin. And you, the judges, bear a wary eye.
Come on, sir.
Come, my lord.
One.
No!
Judgment.
A hit. A very probable hit.
Say, Hamlet, this pearl is thine. Here's to thy health. Give him the cup.
I'll play this bout first. Set it by a while. Come. One, another hit. What say you?
A touch, I do confess.
Our son shall...
Here, Hamlet, take thy napkin. Rub thy brows, the queen carouses to thy fortune.
Good madam.
Gertrude, do not drink.
I will, my lord, I pray you pardon me.
It is the poison cup. It's too late.
I dare not drink yet. Good madam. By and by.
You wipe thy face.
My lord, I'll hit him now.
I do not think it.
This almost gets my conscience.
Come. For the third Laertes, you but dally. I pray you, pass with your best violence. I'm afeard you make a wanton of me.
Oh, say you so? Come on.
Go!
Nothing. Either way.
How about you now?
Go! Part them! They are incensed!
Nay, come again!
Look to the queen there, home.
They plead on both sides. How is it, my lord?
How is it, Laertes?
Why, as a woodcock to my own spring, Osric, I am justly killed with my own treachery.
How does the queen?
She swoons to see them bleed.
No. Drink. Drink. My dear Hamlet. Drink. I am poisoned.
Oh, villainy! Oh, let the doors be locked! Treachery! Seek it out!
It is here, Hamlet. Hamlet, thou art slain. No medicine in the world can do thee good. In thee there's not half an hour of life. The treacherous instrument is in thy hand, unbaited and envenomed. The foul practice hath turned itself on me. Lo, here I lie, never to rise again. Thy mother is poisoned. I can no more. The king is to blame.
The point in venom too. Then venom to thy work!
Oh, yet defend me, friends, I am but
Here,
hurt.
thou incestuous, murderous, damn the day, drink off this potion! Is thy union here? Follow my mother!
He is justly served. It is the poison tempered by himself. Exchange forgiveness with me, noble Hamlet. Mine and my father's death come not upon thee, nor thine on me.
Heaven make thee free of it. I'll follow thee. I am dead. Horatio, I am dead. Thou livest. Report me and my cause aright to be unsatisfied.
I'll never believe it. I am more an antique Rome than a Dane. Just got some liquor left.
As thou art a man, give me the cup. Let go. By heaven, I'll have it. Good Horatio, if thou didst ever hold me in thy heart, absent thee from felicity a while, and in this harsh world, draw thy breath in pain to tell my story. I'm dead, Horatio, the rest is silence.
Now cracks a noble heart. Good night, sweet prince, and may flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. What is it you will see, if aught of woe or wonder sees your search? And from his voice, whose mouth will call on more, let the same be presently performed. Even when men's minds run wild, as more mischance on plots and errors happen. Let 4 captains bear Hamlet like a soldier to the stage, for he was likely, had he been put on, to have proved most royally. For his passage, the soldier's music and rites of war speak loudly for him. Take up the bodies. Such a sight as this becomes the fields. But here shows much amiss.
That was amazing. That you did that in a week? That's crazy.
Well,
rehearsal.
a week long in total.
I know.